Hello students, how are you? I am Vijay Shrimal from Jagan Nath University. I am a faculty of Computer Science Department. So today we are discussing the topic on computer architecture and input-output devices. This topic is covered from the unit number 2nd, and your subject name is Computer Fundamental, and the subject code is distance DL-BCA 101. So now we are starting this topic, computer architecture and the input-output devices. This topic is covered in the two separate parts. Okay. So what is the computer? First of all, you have to know about what is computer. So computer is designed by a word that is compute, and compute means the calculator. So the calculator, it is calculations, arithmetic and logical units, and this is the computer system. Okay. This is the basic computer architecture, the basic system. You can pronounce it both of things. It is a complete architecture, and it is designed by the step 1, step 2 and step 3. Every system has a input system, a processor system and the output system. So these three systems will combined and designed as a computer system. So the first input devices, the input devices are the devices which collect the input and proceed for the CPU. So it is a mediator. CPU means it is a mediator, so which perform some processing and calculations. The step 2nd, which is the CPU, central processing unit, and it is combined, and it is a combination of, it is a calculations of control unit, arithmetic logic unit and memory. So it is a complete mediator part which perform the processing. Now third one is the step 3rd, it is the output devices. After processing the CPU, it is giving as a input to the output devices, and output devices gives their outputs to the users. So this is the complete architecture of the computer system. We are separately describe every point in the next slide. So these are the parts of the computer architecture. First is the input unit. What is the work of input unit? What is the purpose of the input unit? So this unit contains the devices of which we enter the data into the computer. This unit creates a link between the user and the CPU. Second one is the CPU, the central processing unit. CPU is considered as the brain of the computer, because without brain, every system, every human being cannot be work, and it is like a dead body. So the CPU is also performing as a brain of the computer, because every processing, every controlling, it is performing by the CPU. So CPU performs all the types of data processing operations. It stores data, intermediate results and instructions. It controls the operations of all parts of the computer. It is designed by the various other units, that is control unit, arithmetic logic unit and the memory unit. So the first one is the control unit. The control unit, basically it controls every instruction which is executed by the computer. And the arithmetic logic unit, that means the unit which perform the arithmetic and the logic types of the mathematically functions, which is designed in an inner way that calculates and performs some informations which provided to the output unit. The third one is the memory. So memory, as like a human being, there is some brain. As like the human body, the memory is also required for the computer, because every information which are processed and stored in the system, that is required to the memory. So different types of the computer memories are available in the computer system. It is bifurcated in the primary and the secondary memory. Primary memory again is divided into RAM and ROM, and the RAM is also divided in the SRAM, DRAM, and the ROM is also divided into the different types of the PROM, EPROM, EEPROM. These are the dividation of the complete computer memory which are used in a different purpose in the system. The output unit which considered as giving the output to the system, and this output will be displayed on the monitor or as like a printer when we are going for the printing of the documents. The advantage of the computer, there are so many advantages of the computers which are required in the manner why the computer is important. So there are so many advantages. Speed, the computer speed is very fast because it calculates the informations and it is faster than the human being. Okay. The second one is the accuracy. Computer system provides the accurate contents, accurate manner, accurate data after processing or after calculation the data. Efficiency, its efficiency is very much better than the human being, because efficiency is a very effective parameter of the computer that become as a importance of the computer. The next one is the storage capability. The storage capability is very important because storing the so many data, and it is stored in the permanent form in the hard disks. The versatility, that means so many types of the operations which are performed by the computer system, it is a versatile. These are the very effective factors which are required as the importance of the computer. That is the disadvantage of the computer, because computer is not a human being. It is not thinking as like a human being, because when we are programmed in a computer and the programmed perform what are the perspective or what are the purpose, what are the purpose of the system. So this is the very effective manners that define as a computer has a disadvantage and the human being has a advantage. Computer not thinking or not feeling as like a human being, this is also the disadvantage of the computer. Now the second part of this topic, that is the computer hardware devices. There are three types of the devices are used: input devices, output devices, secondary storage devices, internal components. Input devices and output devices are very important, because without input output devices we cannot handle the situations or process the data in the computer system. So there are a very specific names of the input devices: keyboard, mouse, scanner, barcode reader, light pen. These are the input devices, and the output devices are printer, monitor, speakers, projectors. These are the output devices. We are explaining all the things in the next slide. Secondary storage devices: hard disk, CD, DVD, RAM, ROM. These are the memories which are required as a storage devices. So the input devices, the first one is the keyboard. The keyboard is very essential and first important input devices. Without keyboards we cannot give the input to the computer system. So keyboard is very essential input device. Second one is the mouse. When we are clicking on the particular topic or the button, we are required the mouse, and the mouse work as an input device on the event clicking. So when we click on the something point, that is event clicking. So the second one is the input device mouse. Third one is the light pen. Through the light pen we can enter the soft copy or the digital signature in the computer system. Joysticks basically used for the gaming purpose. So when we are going for the gamings, we are required the joysticks. Next one is the trackball. Trackball is also the a type of the mouse which are required for the tracking or the gaming purpose. Touch screen. When we use the touch screen system, we just click on the touch manner and we are giving the input. There are different types of the touch screens are available: optical touch panel, electronic touch panels. Scanner is also the another input device through which we can insert the hard document in the soft copy in the computer system. So we can use the scanner. Scanner is the external device which are connected using the USB cable in the computer system, and through the scanner we can input the hard document in the soft copy in the computer system. The output devices. The major types of the output devices are the monitors and the printers. Other than are the projectors and the speakers. These are the output devices. Monitor, basically monitor is used for showing or displaying the processing data which are displayed for the users. That is like a output device. Printer is also required as an output device because it provides the printing contents, print materials. Speaker and projectors also the output devices. The storage devices are the floppy disk. It is a I think in 2001, 2002 it is used as a storage device, and the floppy disk has a very limited storage, 64 MB data storage we can use floppy disk. Hard disk is a permanent storage device, and this is also called the non-volatile memory, because when we store the data in the hard disk and when we turn off the system, the data is also available when we again start the computer. But in the RAM is a versatile memory. When we turn off the system and we start the computer, the previous data which are stored in the RAM is deleted. Magnetic tape, optical disk drivers, these are the different types of the storage devices which are used in the computer system for storing the different types of the data. This is the end of the topic. Now I conclude everything which we are learning in the topic, that the computer architecture, it is a basic architecture which are required to define as a system. What are the basic input systems, what are the basic mediator system which process the data, and how we find out outputs. This is the computer system. This architecture is designed as a final architecture right now, but in the previous around 1970 it is designed as a rough architecture, von Neumann architecture and the Harvard architecture. These are the two scientists which are designed this system in the previous section. But this architecture which we are displaying or which are discussing in the topic is a final computer architecture. Then another the topic is input, output and storage devices, which are very essential for learning about the computer, because these devices are very helpful to operate the system in an efficient manner. So we have to knowledge about the input devices, output devices, storage devices, and these devices are very required in the computer system. So thank you so much all the students for patiently listening the topic, and if any queries you can ask me. Thank you so much.
For loop. This is the flow chart of a for loop. Start, initialization counter, condition test. If condition become true, number of block of statement will be executed on the screen. After that, update expressions, and if the condition again become true, this same task will be repeatedly multiple times. When the condition become false, the loop will be terminated. This is the example of for loops. Here is the same examples. Hello world, we become the I equals to 10. Here we initialize all three things: initializations, conditions, and increment decrement in a single line. This means the complexity of the for loop is much more less than from the while and do while loops. That is the hello words. It means this print the I equals to 1 to 10 means 10 times we print the hello words by using for loop. Same example, we will use while loop, do while loop, and for loops. Now, what is the difference between the while loop and for loop? You see, in while loop, we check the conditions at the start of the loop. After that, the body of the loop will be executed. While in for loops, all the initializations, expression, and condition subdivisions all will be done in a single line at the start of the loop. This is the main basic difference between while and for loops. So students, these are the main loops are C, that are the while loop, do while loop, and for loop. We used all loops are done the same things, but we will use the loops as per the requirement of the loops. We want to use a statement that is required to check the condition first, then we use while loop. If we want to require a condition check after the loops, then we require use do while loops. And the for loop, it is the much more easy loop, that is all three conditions are done in a single line at the beginning of the loops. Fine. Thank you.